We are already familiar with the role of heart as a pumping organ which pumps the blood across the body, which helps in the transport of useful and harmful substances. Interestingly, different groups of organisms have different structures of heart which leads to different kinds of circulation. So, in this class we are going to study different kinds of circulation provided by the movement of blood. We start our discussion with double circulation. This kind of circulation is found in birds and mammals, the groups of organisms which are warm-blooded, and these warm-blooded animals need to maintain their body temperature. So, it is needed that in their body oxygenated and deoxygenated blood should not be mixed. You have already seen in case of human heart, the right part of the heart contains the deoxygenated blood and the left part of the heart contains the oxygenated blood. This double circulation along with the four-chambered heart prevents in the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood needed to maintain their body temperature. So, what is the meaning of this double circulation? Double means two. Double circulation means that in a single cycle the blood passes twice through the heart, and this double circulation consists of two kinds of circulations, namely pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. So, let us start with the pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary is related to lungs. It means it is a kind of circulation which takes the blood to the lungs and carries the blood from the lungs. So, which structures pumps the blood to the lungs? Yes, it is the right ventricle. Indeed, what happens? The superior and the inferior vena cava takes the deoxygenated blood from the body to the right atrium. From the right atrium, this deoxygenated blood comes to right ventricle, and this right ventricle pumps the blood to the lungs through the pulmonary arteries, the only arteries which carry deoxygenated blood. In the lungs, this blood gets oxygenated and through the pulmonary veins it comes to the left atrium and supplied to the left ventricle. So, this pulmonary circulation starts from the right ventricle, passes through the lungs and comes to the left atrium. It means it involves only three structures, that is right ventricle, lungs and left atrium. It means pulmonary circulation means blood goes from right ventricle through the pulmonary arteries to the lungs and through the pulmonary veins to the left atrium. And these pulmonary veins are the only veins which carry oxygenated blood. Now the blood has come to the left atrium. This oxygenated blood needs to be given to different systems of the body through a circulation called systemic circulation. So, systemic circulation includes the circulation of blood from left ventricle to the body through the aorta, and from the body this blood gets deoxygenated and comes back to right atrium for further circulation. It means systemic circulation includes the movement of oxygenated blood from left ventricle to the body where it gets deoxygenated after oxygen being used for respiration and deoxygenated blood coming to the right atrium. So, if you want to show it, I have shown it simply like this. Pulmonary circulation means blood goes from right, I have denoted the right ventricle as RV, right auricle as RA, left auricle as LA and left ventricle as LV. So, in pulmonary circulation, the blood moves from right ventricle through the pulmonary artery to the lungs and through the pulmonary veins to the left auricle. It means pulmonary circulation means movement of blood from right ventricle to lungs to left auricle, and systemic circulation means movement of blood from left ventricle to the body through aorta and coming back of blood to the right auricle through the superior and inferior vena cava. So, you may see here, notice here that in a single cycle the blood passes twice through the heart. For example, if you start from right auricle, the blood comes to right ventricle, goes to lungs, again comes back to heart, goes to left ventricle and given out to body, and then again comes to right auricle. So in a single cycle the blood passes twice through the heart. Now in all organisms this heart is not four chambered. For example, in fishes the heart is only two chambered. So what happens in fishes? In fishes the heart is divided into one auricle and one ventricle. This from the auricle contains the deoxygenated blood, and this deoxygenated blood is passed to the ventricle. From the ventricle the blood is passed to the gills and blood is oxygenated here. So gills pass the oxygenated blood to different body cells. In the body cells respiration happens, the blood gets deoxygenated and again comes to the heart. So you may notice here that in a single cycle the blood passes once through the heart. So fishes have a single circulation. Single circulation means in one cycle the blood passes only once through the heart. So what happens in fishes? The heart only contains the deoxygenated blood which it pumps to the gills where it gets oxygenated. This oxygenated blood is pumped to the body cells where oxygen is used for respiration. It again gets deoxygenated and comes back to the heart. So heart only contains deoxygenated blood, but you may see in our case one part of the heart contains deoxygenated blood while the other part of the heart contains oxygenated blood. And when the heart reaches the body cells the speed of the blood reduces considerably, and fishes can work with it because they do not need to maintain their body temperature as they are cold blooded. The same kind of thing happens in reptiles and amphibians. In the reptiles and amphibians they have a two chambered atrium. Their atria is two chambered but they have a undivided ventricle. So what happens in reptiles and amphibians? Right atrium takes the deoxygenated blood from the body, it comes to the ventricle, from the ventricle it is given to the lungs or gills or skin for purification. The purified blood comes to the left atrium and this purified blood comes to the ventricle. So in the reptiles and amphibians what happens? This ventricle contains both the deoxygenated blood and the oxygenated blood. So there is slight mixing of blood in these organisms. So and amphibians and reptiles can work with this mixing of blood because they are cold blooded and they do not need to maintain their body temperature. Their body temperature remains the same as the temperature of the atmosphere. So fishes have the two chambered heart, amphibians and reptiles have three chambered heart, except crocodiles which have four chambered heart like birds and mammals, and birds and mammals are having the four chambered heart. So you can see the evolution of heart in these groups of organisms. Now we have studied about the pulmonary circulation supplying and taking blood from lungs and the systemic circulation supplying blood to different body organs. Apart from the lungs and different body organs, our heart also undergoes respiration and needs both the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. For that we have a special circulation called coronary circulation. Coronary circulation means the supply of blood to the heart and the taking of blood from the heart. It means coronary circulation includes the coronary arteries which supplies oxygen to the heart. It means coronary arteries are those arteries which supply oxygenated blood to the heart, and when the heart has undergone respiration it produces carbon dioxide and the blood becomes deoxygenated or carbon dioxide rich, and this deoxygenated blood is carried from the heart through the coronary veins. So coronary arteries and coronary veins form the coronary circulation. Coronary circulation means coronary arteries supplying oxygenated blood to the heart and coronary veins taking away deoxygenated blood from the heart. Now you have seen that from different body organs the blood comes to the heart. But what would happen if blood from one organ goes to another organ before coming to the heart, and this happens in portal circulation. This portal circulation includes portal vein and the capillaries with which it supplies blood to a specific organ. So, first let us understand about portal vein. Portal vein means it collects blood from one organ and distributes the blood to some other organ instead of sending it to the heart. And we have a hepatic portal vein. This vein carries the blood from intestine to liver before supplying it to the heart. So, let us study about this hepatic portal circulation. So, what happens? You have already learnt about small intestine and the digestive tract. In the digestive tract and small intestine, the nutrients are absorbed from the food. This nutrient rich blood also contain some toxins, and these toxins need to be modified. Even the blood may be very high in glucose when it is coming from the small intestine. That's why the blood which is coming from the small intestine is first taken to the liver. In the liver, different substances are modified before it is being transported to the general circulation of body. So, what happens? The excess glucose is converted into glycogen, and some of the toxins are also detoxified inside the liver, so that blood is comparatively better in nutrients and it is without the toxins. So, this is all about today's class. Thank you.